Okay, so to get started, I'm going to go to Illustrator Basics. There's two ways to get there, both from the calendar at this link right here, or if I come over to Home, there it is again. So I'm going to click on Illustrator Basics, and I already did the how to open up Illustrator and how to save a test file and save it to the correct folder in the Google Drive. So I'm going to move on to Handouts. I'm going to Handouts right now, and if I click on this, it takes me back to Google Drive, and I've got 4 items here that I basically want to work off of. The one that I'm going to start off with, though, is called Illustrator Basics, which looks like this, but I'm going to be referring to these other ones later, so just be aware of that. So if I click on this one, I need to download this, so I just click on this little button up here, download it. Downloads it down here, and if I hold down the control key, see if it happens if I just click on it. Oh good, it just opened it up directly in Illustrator for me because it's an Illustrator file. So there it is. You're going to be turning this in at the end of class, but let me just show you how to get started. So here's my artboard again. In this particular case, and you might not have all this open, I currently have a layer right here. That's layer 1, and that's where all the stuff is located. We will get into what layers are later on. The other thing I'm going to need is my tools palette, which is right here. If you don't see your tools palette, go to Window and click on Tools. That should be checked. So let's just start with the basic one. This is the line tool. Here's your goal. I want you to make 3 lines of 3 different sizes and 3 different colors. How do you do that? Well, you click on the line tool. And by the way, if you mouse down, you're going to notice that there are more than one choice. I'm just going to get a straight line to begin with. Draw this out. So there's my basic line. It has a stroke of 1 point, and it's black. How do I know that? Well, the stroke is up here. It's telling me it's 1 point, and down here, this is my stroke color. So I'm going to make another line and show you how to change that. Just click and drag. So there's my second line. I'm going to change the stroke to something very different. Now it's a stroke of 5 points. It's considerably thicker. If I double click down here, all of a sudden I get this color picker comes up. And let's make it, I don't know, blue. I'm going to say OK. So now this color here is blue and the line is blue. Now here's the trick. If I draw another line, it's going to keep it at a stroke of 5 points and keep the color blue. So I'll just start and show you what I'm talking about. Here's my third line. So it's still blue, it's still a stroke of 5 points. So I'm going to make this one even thicker, 10 points. And again, I'm going to double click and I'm going to change the color. Oh, purple this time, why not? So you can see I can change the size of the line, I can change its stroke, I can change its color as well. If I wanted to, I could come back at any time and move these lines around by using the selection tool. That's the black arrow right there. By the way, if you get into what's called isolation mode right here, where everything else dims out, just hit the escape key and you're out of it. I can also take this line later on and I can change its size. I can rotate it. So what's cool about these things is that after you make it, you don't have to choose to leave it that way. So if I wanted to change this to a 20-point stroke later, I could do that. If I wanted to change its color later, I could do that. Some more advanced line tool options just to show you. Right now I have the set at basic. So I'm going to come up here where it says basic, and you can see that there are some default options that I can change it to. So if I click on this, all of a sudden now my line characteristic changes tremendously just by clicking on that. I'm going to click on this one. Ooh, look. So I can get some kind of funky results here if I wanted to pretty quickly and pretty easily. So that's how they use the line tool. Moving on, let's go to the rectangle tool. The rectangle tool is right here. And again, if you mouse down, you can see there are more than one options. But a basic rectangle is here. Now, with the rectangle, when I click and draw, currently I have it set to a stroke of purple, but it's only 1, so I'm going to make that a little bigger so I can see that. And I have no fill. I'm going to change that. I'm going to click on this box right here, which currently is like no fill. Double click on it, and let's give this a nice fill of a pretty blue here. And now I have a fill of blue and a stroke of purple. Easy. I'm going to make that a little smaller. Let's make another one. Change the fill again. Give it another color. So fill that and what the heck, stroke of black. And again, the cool thing about these tools is that afterwards they're very editable. So if I decide I want to change my stroke later, if I want to change my size later, if I want to rotate the box, I can just go to the corner and I can rotate the box. The ellipse tool is essentially the same way. Here's the ellipse tool. Again, click and drag. If you want it to be a perfect circle, by the way, you hold down the shift key, and now it's a perfect circle. So for each of these, I'd like you to give them all a different stroke color, though. So, and a different fill color as well, just so you can show me how. And same thing applies here. Check this out. See, you can do funky stuff like that. Look at that. Love it. This is a really powerful tool if you know how to use it. All right. So that's just getting us started. We're going to get to the polygon tools, etc. in another video.